Hi friends, it's Geneva. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you something I found on eBay that I was pretty excited to see, and I had never heard of it or seen it before. This is called the Pathfinder Tarot, and I believe it's published independently, Duncan Baird Publishers, 2011. I asked about this deck on a tarot group that I'm on Facebook, and I found out that it was also known by the name of Truth Seekers Tarot, and also I believe Wisdom Seekers Tarot. So they're the same cards in the deck, but I believe the very first edition might have had some like gold gilding incorporated into the card images. So here we are. I just broke the seal, but I haven't really gone through the cards, and I was excited to see this deck. I wanted to share it with you right away. The cards are fairly big, fairly large size. The box is quite nice. So here's a little blurb from the box. Based on the insight and guidance of tarot expert David Fontana, this beautiful tarot deck will enlighten, inspire, and stimulate. The deck uses traditional symbolism rooted in medieval and Renaissance practice, but brought up to date with sumptuous original artwork. The Pathfinder's Tarot is perfect for both those beginning their journey with the tarot as well as the more experienced card reader. And the art was commissioned by Sylvie Denio. I hope I'm saying her name right. I believe she's done other decks, although I haven't researched to see which ones have her artwork. Okay, so just in general, it's a rather nice deck. It's rather large for me with my smaller hands. You could, I'm sure, do a side shuffle or an overhand shuffle. I like the backs of the cards. They sort of have, this gildy look to them, and the gold gives it a real richness. It's kind of a goldy orange, more orange in the middle bar here. Very pretty. They've got a small white border. Gosh, they're very pretty cards. I can't wait to run through them. Okay, here we have the Fool. Very traditional looking, a jester type of a fool with the bag over his shoulder and the dog jumping and chewing at him. The colors are very, very rich, and the cards are very finely detailed. For instance, it looks like you can almost see each blade of the grass. Very beautiful. Here's the Magician. It does remind me of medieval art. Beyond just the outfit that the guy is wearing, look at the shoes. Very cute. He's got the lemniscate incorporated into his hat there. And I want to say that this it doesn't really quite have gold gilding, but the gold paint that they used almost has a little sheen to it, or shine, more so than the other colors do. It's very hard to pick it up here on the camera. But I know a previous edition of this really had really shiny gold for the golden areas. Here's the High Priestess. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the serene look on her face. Really, really love that High Priestess. Now, if you wanted to, you could trim this deck down pretty easily. Everything that you need to keep is here, the number and the name of the card. So you could trim it, just the small border, or you could actually trim this off too, and that would shorten these cards up considerably. I may end up doing that. But wow, I love that High Priestess. Oh, look at the Empress. Isn't that gorgeous? She's got all the elements that make her the Empress, the nature elements. Like the more traditional older cards, we've got a shield and a crown on the Empress here. Some of the newer decks don't depict the Empress as a ruler, but just as the Earth Mother. And I think this card does a great job of merging those two energies. Here's the Emperor. And don't these two match beautifully? I really love this pairing of the Emperor and the Empress. Just stunning. Here's the Hierophant, very traditional Hierophant. The Lovers. So this is more along the line of the traditional tarot Lovers card, where the gentleman has to make a choice between two ladies. And which style does he prefer? He's really got to think about it there. He likes them both. The Chariot. Great Chariot. I love this card. Look, we've got the path even has two different tones there. A real sense of motion in different directions. These horses actually do have reins. Here we have Strength. A very beautiful Strength. Again, I love how they made this lemniscate into her hat. Very pretty. The Hermit. Beautiful card. I always love the Hermit cards. Here we have Wheel of Fortune. It's a very nice traditional Wheel of Fortune. Got kind of a sphinx on top of the wheel, and then the animals, one coming up, one heading down. You don't know which way you're going to be taken by life's fortune. Here we have Justice at 11. So this is a traditional Rider-Waite ordering of the major Arcana cards. This is a really great Justice card. I really like it. The scales are not too small or too prominent, and she's got the sword. And I like that she's holding the scales in her right hand, which is also an indication of justice and rightness. Here we have the Hanged Man. Very nice. Kind of hanging out there waiting to see what develops. Or possibly sacrificing something for something that's more important to him. Here is the Death card. Nicely done. Oh, this is a beautiful Temperance. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This is one of my favorite ever Temperance cards. That's beautiful. Wow. Here we have the Devil, very traditional Rider-Waite image. Got the upside down there pentagram. The people who are very loosely bound, they could easily slip their binds if they so desired. Here we have the Tower. Very cool. The Star. Wow, I love that. I love that they included the, I believe that's an ibis. The Moon. Oh man, these cards are just beautifully done. The Sun. I like that Sun card. No baby, no horse. Couple of lovers enjoying the sun. Judgment. The World. Oh, that's nice. Okay, then on to the suits. Here we have the Wands coming up first in this deck. Ace of Wands. The coloring's beautiful. The Volcano really gives you a feeling of the fire that's associated with the suit of Wands. Great Ace of Wands. Here we have Two of Wands. So in addition to the Volcano from the Ace, we've got two wands holding a cauldron. Three of Wands. And the Four of Wands. Gee, 3 tied with a bow and 1 on its own. That kind of gives you that sense like the 4 of Wands in the Rider-Waite, where they've got 4 upright wands and garlands in between them. Oh, I will have to say, with this particular deck, although it's out of print and I don't know if that you can find it, but I did not receive any kind of book or a little white book, just the cards. So I can't look and see what the author might have had in mind with this 4 of Wands. Here's the 5 of Wands. Very neat. 6 of Wands. We're seeing like birds added into the 5 and 6. Here we've got kind of the garland. This looks like a laurel wreath path. So in that sense, it does follow through with the Rider-Waite tradition of this card meaning acclaim or victory. The 7 of Wands. Oh, look how beautiful this is. 8 of Wands. Kind of these sort of look like phoenix. I don't know, maybe they're meant to be a different kind of bird. I don't really know, but that's a great 8 of Wands. We've got the idea of motion, energy. The 9 of Wands. So something has been very carefully built. And the 10 of Wands. Great accomplishment. Man, that's a beautiful, beautiful card. I wasn't sure if I'd like these minor arcana cards, but so far I'm loving them. This may not be perfect for you if you're a brand new reader, especially since it doesn't come with any literature. But if you're a medium, intermediate reader, you'll probably really enjoy this. The Princess of Wands. So she's earthily tending her garden, because princesses are generally associated with earth as well as their suit. So that's a nice card. Prince of Wands. It's the action card of the suit. The Queen of Wands. And the King of Wands. So although they didn't renumber the minor arcana, and they left strength at 8 and justice at 11, but we still have the Thoth idea here with the king being on horseback. Now that's different from Rider-Waite. They usually picture kings on thrones in Rider-Waite, and they would call this a knight, but it would be in the king position. So very interesting, but we do have horseback in both. Cool, very nice. And I love that all these wands are colored in orange and red, typical fire colors. Then we move on to the suit of cups. Of course, they're going to be mostly blue, green, aqua. Ace of Cups. Isn't that pretty? Raining from heaven to fill the cup. Here we have the 2 of Cups with the idea of partnership, love, 2 as 1, and the 3 of Cups. Very nice. Out of 2 become 3. I kind of think of that card as the birth, the creative birth that comes from the union of the 2. And it could be interpreted as an actual birth of a child, or birth of an idea, or something coming forth. Here's the 4 of Cups. Really nice, really beautiful. Five of Cups. And you generally think of 5s as being unstable. It's an unstable number. So we've got 3 cups below, 2 precariously perched there. So you may have to watch what's ahead. Things are a little unstable. Here we have 6 of Cups. Really beautiful. Perseverance. moving forward, happiness, the Seven of Cups, I see 4 cups, but I don't see the other 3. So that's interesting. So if you trim this, you might have a difficult time knowing that that was 7 of Cups. I don't know, guys, maybe it's just my eyes. I don't see 3 more cups unless they're counting these ships in the distance there as cups. Here's the 8 of Cups. I do see 8 cups here. 4 upon 4, so very stable, although maybe it's time to move along to something else because what you built on here is pretty much completed. The 9 of Cups, oh wow, the cups are overflowing. Great happiness, wonderful. And the 10 of Cups, even more fulfillment. Princess of Cups. Oh wow, I love that she's on a dolphin. That's wonderful. Very cute. The Prince of Cups. I would have preferred the princes. I noticed the Prince of Wands was also not on his horse, and I kind of like the knights to be on horseback, but I can work with this. Queen of Cups, very beautiful. Look how pretty she is. Got her dress with cups all embroidered onto her dress. Lovely. And we have the King of Cups. So the kings are more the action figures in this deck. That's a really lovely card. Moving on to the swords, colored yellow to help you associate with the element of air. Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords. Oh, and they've got birds here as well, so that I like to see that in my swords suit. 3 of Swords. Thank goodness it's not 3 swords stuck through a heart. Wonderful. 4 of Swords. Oh yes, you kind of get that idea of the stability and rest which has traditionally been associated with this card in Rider-Waite. 5 of Swords, a little bit of instability in thought, action, communication. You don't get that sense from the artwork in this card, but if you know your card meanings from tarot and from numerology and the elements, it's really not hard to get the meaning. But as I said, this is not really a beginner's deck. 6 of Swords. So you've kind of been through something, some kind of a battle. It's time to be moving ahead through the portal that lies ahead there. 7 of Swords. You've got choices and places to go, things to do. 8 of Swords. Now traditionally this is a woman with 8 swords binding around her, but you kind of get the same sense with this lemniscate or this figure 8 here. 9 of Swords. Kind of illumination or enlightenment. I like that. I like that better than the nightmare interpretation that you see in Rider-Waite decks. And the 10 of Swords, even greater illumination. I'm liking this deck real well. Here is the Princess of Swords. Prince of Swords. Again, the prince not on his horse, so there must be a reason for that. They're more studious rather than active. Queen of Swords. And the King of Swords. Love the court cards in this deck. Okay, moving on to the Pentacles, which are going to be kind of green and brown in keeping with the element of earth. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. So to me, six is our harmony, moving forward, persevering. Fives are a little bit of instability, so you've kind of got this tower waiting to be knocked down. Four is also a very stable card, stable foundation. In Rider-Waite, they have the guy sitting on his wealth box and holding on to his coins, but you can kind of get that impression of stability with the Four Pentacles there. The Three of Pentacles has been shown in the past in Rider-Waite decks as kind of an apprentice card, somebody beginning a new creative endeavor. And you kind of would have to know that. You wouldn't get that from just looking at this card. Though it's very similar to Rider-Waite in that we've got the three stained glass panels. But then you have that also in the Two. And Two of Pentacles is usually pictured in Rider-Waite as a juggler with a couple of balls or a lemniscate, and giving you the idea of choice or duality. So you would just have to know that in your own mind. You could also put keywords on these cards if you were sort of still in a learning phase and wanted to really, have your own meanings behind the cards. So that's also a possibility. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven is about confidence, choices. And we do not have the gentleman leaning on his shovel, looking at the harvest and wondering if the harvest is going to be good or if it's going to be a failure and his efforts are going to be for nothing. But if you've learned if you've already learned your tarot meanings, you can kind of associate this with that. The Eight of Pentacles. Traditionally in Rider-Waite, it's viewed as a card of creative accomplishment on your job, accomplishment in work. Sometimes you'll see someone like a blacksmith working on making something with his tools. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is oftentimes associated with a lady standing in the middle of a beautiful garden and enjoying the fruits of life. She's holding a bird, but this deck doesn't give you quite as much of a story as the Rider-Waite decks do, but if you know Rider-Waite, you won't have any trouble bringing that over to this deck. The Ten of Pentacles, where they normally show a very successful family homestead, and it oftentimes means an inheritance, great success in your job, stability in your family. Okay, the court cards for the Pentacles, we have Princess of Pentacles. Lovely, I like the fawns back there. Prince of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Very industrious lady there, isn't she? Nice. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So I'm really, really happy with this deck. I'm very pleased with it. It's very nice quality cards and cardstock. I don't know, shuffling for me is always a bit of a challenge, especially when a deck is a little bit bigger like this. But I may have to trim it a little bit so that I can use it, but you could overhand shuffle. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little walkthrough, and if you get a chance, you may want to look for this. I think you would have to find it on eBay. I don't believe it's any longer in print, but I didn't pay much for it. You could probably find it inexpensively when it does turn up. Okay, take care, enjoy, and we'll talk to you again next time.